Hello there, my very good friends, and a warm welcoming and good afternoons to you on this video. What the hell is going on with Vince McMahon?
Well, Vince McMahon has issued a statement on his latest controversy. We'll bring you that and WWE's response too.
We got the latest on LA Knight's WWE push, including a bit of worry.
And injury updates on Jamie Hayter and Bryan Danielson. I'm Adam Wilborn.
Whoosh.
This is the after news.
Right, we should cover all this Vince crap. We should go through this. Yesterday, as we were recording another video, this happened twice yesterday. We were recording a predictions video for SummerSlam, the Elite news broke. We were recording a video about the Elite news, the Vince news arose, but there's some stuff that we need to get into. Right, this mother effer was the subject of a search warrant and a subpoena. And this was revealed in a new SEC filing that kind of came out along with WWE's Q2 2023 results yesterday.
They're doing quite well in Q2.
Yeah, the business is certainly booming. They're succeeding on every single level. This search warrant and subpoena were issued on the 17th of July. No subsequent charges have been brought against Vince following this, and there's no details on what was being searched for. But yeah, it's a whole deal, man. Now, there's also some other stuff going on with Vince at the moment as well. He's currently on medical leave. This was confirmed by Nick Khan, WWE CEO, yesterday. He had spinal surgery, obviously. You're 77 years old, you have spinal surgery, you're probably going to want to take some time off and all of that. Vince, you've got a different statement, but I've got one that Vince released to CNBC here. I have always denied it, and it's kind of similar, so we're kind of treading on each other's bums here. I've always denied any intentional wrongdoing and continue to do so. I am confident that the government's investigation will be resolved without any findings of wrongdoing. So, there you go, Vince McMahon, latest controversy. Let's get through these reactions, and then we'll I don't know, read a subpoena or something? I don't know.
Yes. He sent, following this SEC filing and all the news breaking about what happened on July 17th, did you say? He released an internal memo to company employees that reads, in 2022, WWE formed a special committee to review allegations of misconduct against me. That review was concluded in November 2022, following extensive investigation. Throughout this experience, I've always denied any intentional wrongdoing and continue to do so. I am confident the government's investigation will be resolved without any findings of wrongdoing. I am focused on completing the recovery process from my recent spinal surgery and on closing our transaction with Endeavor, which will create one of the most preeminent global sports and entertainment brands. Also, Mike Johnson of PW Insider reported that WWE's internal memo was saying that Vince was never charged with any wrongdoing. And Nick Khan on yesterday's earnings call, as Andy mentioned, also confirmed McMahon is on medical leave, as we had been speculating and reporting on, basically. He yet again is denying everything, and that's where we are. Yeah,
so the whole deal with Vince was last July, forced to resign in disgrace amidst...
it's been a year.
Yeah, it's been a full year amidst multiple allegations of sexual misconduct. He returned to WWE via the board of directors in January, and then of course Endeavor.
It's a coup, basically.
He literally, and people, like, the documents are out there. He literally wrote to the directors and said, "Hey, if you don't let me back in, if you don't vote me back on, or whatever the exact phrasing is, I won't consent to new TV deals or the sale of the company, which are vital to keep WWE afloat." So they kind of had to do it. And then he came back in and he replaced dissenting parties with yes men. That's literally what happened. Look it up if you don't believe me. You think we're just on some narrative here. And then, of course, the Endeavor takeover was announced in April. And it's
not. I always forget it. It's not actually completed.
That's right. I think
they're making TKO. They're going to call it eventually.
With them in the UFC, the merger, all that stuff. Vince retaining a position of power within that. He is alleged to have paid tens of millions of company money out in non-disclosure agreements and hush money. It was called at the time. That's why the investigation took place, and that's why an agreement was eventually reached between Vince and the promotion. There's going to be more coming out about this, you'd imagine. The whole thing's a bloody mess. Guy sucks. Can we move on?
Yeah, just to try and end on a more slightly positive note. He left in July of last year, and in July of this year, or just after July of this year, WWE reported insane Q2 earnings, which shows that, hey, maybe having him at the top controlling everything wasn't the best thing for business.
Yeah, 100%.
Just a thought.
Yeah. Shall we move on to... I have completely forgotten my next story.
So have I.
That's good. Where we at? LA Knight.
Yeah,
there we
with everybody saying. Sorry.
There you go. Right, so we've got some interesting stuff on LA Knight here. PW Insider have kind of published a report because a lot of people have been talking, like, let me talk to you about LA Knight recently. Didn't win Money in the Bank, and then he was kind of didn't win the Invitational US title. He didn't
appear at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
bonkers,
silly sausages. So a lot of people have been going, hey, when are they going to push LA Knight? So PW Insider have come through with this report. They note that WWE executives remain really high on him. LA Knight has had a bunch of praise for breaking the mold of what was given to him creatively, as well as exceeding expectations as a strong character on the main roster. Actually, interestingly, one of PW Insider, that's a type of tooth, one of PW Insider's sources actually confirmed the situation, Max Dupree to LA Knight to the ringmaster to Stone Cold Steve Austin, which is an interesting comparison, given LA Knight is not shy of hiding his influences, and that's part of why he's so great.
And how old he is. He's ancient.
Yeah, 40's too old to wrestle. Come on.
Idiots.
Come on, Eli Drake. PW Insider reiterates that WWE do have plans for Knight. They're just waiting for the timing to be right. They want the right moment in time is the exact terminology. They've noted his crowd reactions, his merch sales, which are obviously astronomical.
It's hard to ignore now, isn't it?
Exactly. Unless your head's in the sand, you can't ignore them. Worked Wrestling, however, has tweeted something that could be interpreted as a little bit more pessimistic report-wise. Following on from the PW Insider report, we can add that there are parties worried that the company won't strike while the iron is hot and momentum will fade, as they've done with some in the past. We did a Q&A the other week where people were comparing him to like Dolph Ziggler, Zack Ryder, and a few other examples, which I thought was a good point. I think that's a legitimate concern. I do. Like, I don't think that LA Knight is suddenly going to be not over like a week from now or whatever. That being said, man, like, it really felt like a good opportunity to have, and Santos rules. I don't begrudge him any success. I love that guy. But it did feel like a good opportunity while things were just boiling over to do the US title thing or do Money in the Bank. The guy is way too over to be denied, and you have to do it while he's still on top.
You can't do it in next year's WrestleMania, for example.
Far too late. Yeah.
But I will say I'm a lot more confident around the future of LA Knight this week than I was this time last week. Because they've effectively created a SummerSlam Battle Royal for him. He has to win that. Spoilers for our SummerSlam predictions, which are coming your way tomorrow. But me and Andy both think LA Knight has to win that, because of course he does. It's like Cody Rhodes winning the title at next year's WrestleMania. If you don't do that, you are an idiot, right?
You are an idiot.
So I think, and we heard speculation about, we've reported on it quite a lot recently, about WWE saying, no, we're going to give a big push to LA Knight following SummerSlam. And I was looking at that at the time going, why after SummerSlam? Why not at SummerSlam? And why not with the US title at SummerSlam, like you say? I think, obviously, they're not putting the US title match on SummerSlam. Maybe that's the reason that they factored LA Knight out of that. Maybe Austin Theory, yet again, just steals one and retains his United States Championship. And LA Knight, hopefully, will use the win in the Battle Royal at SummerSlam as a springboard to win a mid-card title. I'm not suggesting he has to become World Heavyweight Champion in the next month or so, but I wouldn't argue against a potential World Heavyweight Championship match at WrestleMania with LA Knight following a successful run with the US title, because, you can't just wait around and just have him have some nice spots in the Rumble or whatever.
No, this is it. When things take off, you got to fly with them. That's a lovely little saying.
And someone who WWE messed around with in this sort of situation was one Daniel Bryan. He's now called Bryan Danielson. He was previously called Bryan Danielson. And I've got an injury update on him and Jamie Hayter. We got there in the end. It all comes from the brilliant Mike Johnson of PW Insider. Tony Khan clarifying the situation with both of these wrestlers. Tony Khan, I'm just going to read this. Well, those are no, I'm just going to read it normally.
I'm going to have to get my headphones again.
Well, those are two great talents to the top stars in AEW, Jamie Hayter and the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. With regards to their injuries, he says, they're different situation. There's a little more clarity as to when Bryan Danielson will be back from his injury. Of course, he broke his arm at Forbidden Door or fractured it. Either way, his arm, he's got a hurty arm. I am very excited to get Bryan back. I don't want to put a timetable because it's a very challenging injury and a tough recovery, but I'm very confident he'll be back later this year. Still not sure when Jamie Hayter will be cleared. She doesn't know, and we don't know. Hopefully sooner rather than later. I'm confident you'll see Bryan back in a matter of months, though. He was also mentioning Kyle O'Reilly, again, without a timetable, unfortunately, which just sucks. I would love to see Kyle O'Reilly back, especially with all the shenanigans going on with Grumpy Roderick Strong and Adam Cole and MJF. Kyle O'Reilly fitting into that would be brilliant, and also I'd just like to see him back in the wrestling ring. Maybe the Hayter thing is the reason why they switched the title onto Shida on Dynamite 200. Spoilers, but I mean, what are you doing watching the news videos if you haven't watched the last night's episode of wrestling? And if you want our reaction to that, by the way, we did a news video this morning you can go and check out.
Podcast 2 later.
Yes.
Or maybe already.
Probably.
Maybe.
I don't know. But also, I think Tony Khan was very careful with the way he worded the Bryan Danielson one in particular, so as people don't go, well, guess he's back at All In then.
Yeah, 100%. It really sucks that Jamie Hayter is seemingly not going to make All In. That's just...
Hopefully have an appearance or just in the crowd, or because she deserves that reaction from the British fans.
Come down with Brit for some match or something. That really stinks because that's just one of those cruel twists of fate that you can't do anything about. She got hurt at a really inopportune moment. And I'm glad Danielson's taken some significant time away because every media appearance that guy does, it seems like he goes, yeah, everything in my body is broken and nothing works. And wrestlers sometimes, need to step back a little bit. So I'm excited for both of them to return. I hope they're doing well. Hope they're doing well mentally as well through these recovery processes, which are probably really tough. Kyle O'Reilly as well. Tony actually mentioned that the bunny's coming back soon as well, which is good because she's been out forever and ever. So it's nice to hear that people are on the mend, of course, and I hope they're back soon. Yeah. Well, as soon as they can be that is healthy and not...
Yeah, as soon as they are medically cleared to return, I hope we see them back in AEW ASAP. But let us know your thoughts on that and everything we've discussed in the comments section below. Go and check out our news video from earlier on today. And unless it's that video I'm talking about right now, check out this video as well.
I can never remember if it's here or here. There's a subscribe button somewhere.
Like a magician's assistant. There you go.
Yeah. Paul Daniels.
Bye.